Get your vitamin D right here with me and get excited about your life.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. You are tuned in to the Vitamin D podcast, and I'm your host, Dawn Dai, here to get you excited about your life so that you can live life on purpose and for purpose. Now, if this is your first time tuning in, welcome. Vitamin D is a pun off my name. You know how you get vitamin D from the sun, right? Well, my name is Dawn, which means the sun, so I'm here to shed light into your life. Now, I want to let you know this right now. When we talk about vitamin D and we talk about shedding light, that means we're shedding light on the good and the bad, because if we want to be better and we want to do better, we have to have the ability to see better. And I do this with undelving and unraveling and unleashing inspirational insights with inspirational conversations with celebrities and everyday people like you and me. We're going to die one day. And my whole motive is to inspire people to live while they're still alive. Right now is all we got. And along with, talking to people and having these inspirational insights, I often sometimes do a special kind of segment. And it's what I call the advice letters. And that's when I tell people just like you, all my fans and people that are listening, to email me, in which you can email me on relationships, on your career, on anything, financial advice, anything that comes to your mind that you just want to get, a Dawn word in. And I encourage you to email me at VitaminD@DawnDaiSpeaks.com. So today we're going into the email bag and I'm going into some letters. Now I want to be clear with you, just like I said about shedding the light. Understand that I'm going to keep it raw and real with you. That's the only way you can be better, because if I don't shed what I really feel and how I express, what is the purpose of me speaking the truth? Hey, because remember, if you want to be better, you want to do better, you got to see better. So I'm excited to delve in, and I want to say thank you to each person that has written in. I appreciate you for putting yourself first. We talk about how you're your greatest asset, and you out here trying to be your best self. I see you. All right, let's dive in on the first letter. Subject: leaving Podunk for something better. Okay, Podunk. Dear Dawn, my friend and I want to move out the Podunk town that we're from to the big city. I know it sounds cliche, but we can't grow old here, so the only option is to go. The problem, for me anyway, is that my family is pretty close-minded and they're really against me leaving the mountain. I'm coming from outside Morgan, West Virginia. It's pretty looked down upon for people to leave out, like you're abandoning the family or something. It does weigh on me pretty heavy, but I also don't see much of a future for myself here. While I could get into being a nurse or something, the hospital is the biggest employer around here. Those same skills could easily take me away from here. My friend is pretty amped to roll out, and I'm on the fence about just saying screw it and taking the hit with my family. I worry that they'll cut me off. My grandmother has talked about, I can't believe one of my own is going to up and leave me. Like she's trying to guilt me into staying. Weirdly, it just makes me want to go more. My friend says that they have a place to stay in Seattle and that there's another spare room that I could use till I got on my feet. It's a scary idea because I only know one person, but it's also really exciting. And I don't know the idea of living life without some sort of adventure. It seems so sad. What do you think? I think you ought to take a chance on yourself. This sounds phenomenal. And when you talk about being on an adventure, you're talking to the adventure queen. I done jumped out of planes, jumped off of bridges, kissed giraffes in Africa. Go on, honey. Take a chance. That's from Coming to America. But no, really, I would say ride out. Here's a thing that, and you heard me make a comment. I want to go back to it. You said, I also don't see much of a future for myself here. Okay. One thing that I am very keen on, and if you are listening to this podcast, if you know who I am, about living out your dreams and living on purpose. And when you have a dream, your dream creates a vision. if we want to go, scripturally based, without a vision, the people would perish. Now, vision allows you to see beyond where you are. See, that's also the realm of where the imagination lies. That's where the magic happens. That's where it comes out of the norm. See, and I know that's important to come out of the norm because you said that you are in this small town and you're wanting something more. Now, if you're wanting something more, that means you're seeing more than where you are right now. So then you ask me, what do you think? I think you should go. Who are you staying for? Now, here's another thing you said that, I feel like oftentimes we can all fall victim to this of feeling like we have to accommodate to someone else's viewpoints. We have to accommodate or adhere to someone else's restrictions and someone else's fears. You said that one, the only option is to go, but the problem for you is that your family is pretty close-minded. Here's another thing. When we talk about living out your dreams and living out your purpose, you know that it's a road less traveled. That's what makes that percentage of people special. And when you talk about living your dream, when you talk about living an exciting life, you're going on a path less traveled and you have to do it for you. Because how you do anything is how you do everything. And if you're at the point where you have a dream inside, and that can just be a wanting, it doesn't have to be some $50 billion. It can just be wanting to be more outside of where you are right now. That's the dream. That's the vision. And you have people around that instill as to why you should not do something. Therefore, it's almost like you're creating a barrier around yourself. So then it comes back to, how do you want to live your life and what are you going to choose? The thing that's so interesting and what I love about life is I don't think there's ever a right or wrong. You choose what you want for yourself. Now, the only times that I feel like that it becomes a quote unquote wrong is that if you aren't being honest with yourself, with your decisions. Because everywhere and every opportunity and every situation we found ourselves in, we understand that it is a decision that we made. And we often hear in times that like life is like chess, or learn to play chess because you have to make your next move your best move. And if you're looking at where you want to be in life, you got to look at where your steps are that are leading you there. Hence, why you have the vision. Hence, if you ask me, you need to go because you just said right there, I don't see a future for myself. Oftentimes in life, I don't know if we always know exactly what we're running to, right? But oftentimes we know what we don't want. And sometimes that's enough because knowing what you don't want keeps you in forward momentum to find what it is that you do want. See, you're not complacent because you have a sense of agitation. So now you're going to have to use your courage to step out there and take a chance. Now, here's another thing. You have an olive branch reaching out to you, right? In many instances, people out there, let's just say, imagine in a barren desert. Nothing's out there. No type of viable notification of life. You have an olive branch because a friend said that, hey, they have a place in Seattle where you can stay. There's a spare room and you can use it till you get back on your feet. You know what they say? You just got to have faith the size of a mustard seed. So I have to ask you, what do you want? Do you want to leave out of that podunk town? Do you truly? Do you want to leave out of West Virginia? But more importantly, do you think you deserve it? Now, I talk about all the time how you are your greatest asset. And it's basically treating yourself with love and loving yourself. And that's listening to yourself. And you have to realize that your dreams and aspirations are taking you beyond and exceeding because you don't even understand of the magic that can happen getting out of where you are right now. You said it's really exciting. That's what it means to live your life on purpose. You should get excited about your life. I say it in the jingle. Get your vitamin D right here with me and get excited about your life. Who wants to live their life sad? You just said it yourself. You said, I don't know the idea of living life without some sort of adventure. It seems sad. So what's the decision? What's the decision that you're going to make? And I think oftentimes we should all consider that. What are our decisions that we're making? What does it say? Does it lead us to where we want to go and what we want to do? Only you can answer that. I need you to sit down and evaluate and just make a decision. Make a decision. Because you can have anything you want out of life. So there's no such thing as fear. And you didn't even say in a sense of what you could be lacking. The main thing that you said that you were concerned about is what your family were going to think about you. And you even have a friend who's amped to roll with you. I mean, what more could you ask for? So now it's just like, do you think you deserve the better? And while we're talking about you moving out of this town, I want to talk to somebody that's looking to get out of a relationship. Maybe it's looking to take a chance and step into a new relationship. Maybe it's also making a commitment to working out, eating healthy, going after your dream, whatever it is. How you do anything is how you do everything. So you say, what do you think? Ride out. I'm all about the adventure. Okay? All right. Let's go on to the next letter. Thank you for writing. Subject, how do I see myself winning? Dear Dawn, I have a problem that I just can't seem to shake. I don't see myself as a winner. I'm 22 and repping Houston. I keep looking at my life and all I see is like I'm working at a fast food joint forever, maybe making manager. It seems like a sad life and I don't want to knock people who do that. I think you can give money how you got to give money. But something in me tells me that I don't want to do that, or maybe it's better to say that I shouldn't have to do that kind of work. Okay. It's got me all in my head. All that being said, I know that I'm young and that I haven't seen the world yet. I want to go to college or community college, but I'm constantly trying to do odd jobs to put a roof over my head. I think that I have something in me, a drive to make it as a major player in this world. What would you suggest to help an understanding that you can achieve something or be a winner? Sorry if this doesn't make sense. Thanks for your help. No, thank you. Thank you for writing in. Oh my gosh. First, this touches me because I love the fact that you are taking your life so serious, as you should, because that means that you love on yourself. And I think the greatest force of change is in love. Like if you really want to yield great results out of your life, do it out of love, not out of hate, because hate wants to take things away. Love is only adding in abundance and overflowing. So first, thank you. Okay. Now, you said, how do I see myself as winning? You said, what would you suggest in help me understanding that? Well, interesting enough, my engineer, my homie, back to the days at Howard University, Gizmo, who was actually the sound engineer for the show, audio director, he handles all sound basically. But I'm grateful for him because he sent a reminder to me and he sent me this audio. By, I guess I want to call him a famed philosopher, author, speaker. His name is Earl Nightingale. And the audio was on this clip called The Strangest Secret, a book that he's written. And the thing that I found so interesting is that this all talks about the power of the mind. How powerful the mind is. Oh my gosh. And we see it and we hear about it almost every day when we look at people that make inventions. When we hear stories about people going after their dreams and making something of themselves, they had this vision. And one of the things that I thought was so amazing about this is that Earl Nightingale talked about what it really meant to be successful, because success isn't always just a financial gain. Success is just seeing more of what you're doing right now. And he said that oftentimes we measure success with money. And oftentimes with that measurement, that puts a sort of limitation on our growth and who we are. It also takes away the value and the sense of who we are, because now we've taken out the purpose of it and the joy. Now, he said the thing about when we talk about people who are so successful is because their measurement of success is just identifying something that they want to do and taking the steps towards to doing it. Now, here's the thing. In order for success to even be a possibility or in the realm, you have to identify what it is that you want. Now, the thing that's so amazing about what you're saying right now is that you already know when you can feel that there's something more inside of you that you want. And you said, wait a minute, it's got me all in my head. Yes, this is the place that you need to be to figure out what you want, because you said you don't see working in this fast food joint forever. And just like this gentleman, Raphael Gordon, stated, he said, your location is not your destination. Young man, I see you. I'm just assuming you're a young man. You could be a young man or a young woman. But you said, like, you see more for yourself than just working at this fast food joint. And that's the key to success, is just having the ability to see more of what it is that you want. And you said you want to go to college or community college, but you're doing these odd jobs to keep a roof over your head. And you said, there's something in me. Yes, there is something in you. And that's what you got to continue to go in and discover and identify and understand. If you want to have and be able to make the major move of the players, you got to start identifying people who are doing what it is that you want, or what it is that interests you. Where are you finding yourself getting attracted to? Or is it something that you're seeing on TV? Is it some way that business deals are being made? Do you like sneakers, shirts, shoes? Do you like crafts? Whatever it is, hone in on what's taking your focus. Then invest in that. And I would recommend getting some sort of education, whether it's in a formal school system, or whether you're doing a job in that industry, or whether you're just picking up a book and read, or heck, get on YouTube. What about YouTube University? Heck, there's a whole thing called Clubhouse networking. So there's no reason as to why you can't get connected. What are some of the things that you want to do? And yes, you got to get money how you got to get money. But if you got something in you tells you that what it is that you do want to do or don't want to do because you want to live a better life, then you got to go out there and get it. I would definitely recommend for you to take a listen to Earl Nightingale, The Strangest Secrets. Because once you can get this mind together, it's an amazing thing when you can get your mind together. It talks about in the book, he says, you hear this saying all the time, you reap what you sow. And whether that's good stuff or bad stuff, you're going to reap that. And we often hear sometimes it's called karma. When we can get to the point of identifying our dreams, our passions, our purpose, our love, the things that make us feel good, and continuously plant that in our spirits, plant that in our minds, plant that in our environments, we start to get that back. But when we stay in positions that we feel discontent and we feel annoyed, we're only going to keep reaping that. It's like this vicious cycle of putting in this stuff that you don't want, expecting something different, but yet the same thing is coming out. And if you keep leaving yourself in this situation of working at this fast food joint where you see there's no future of yourself because the only thing that you can possibly do is making manager, what is that going to do to your life bank account? Because we talk about on this podcast how you are your greatest asset. It sounds like that your account is going to be in the negative. Because this is not where you want to be. This is not going to yield the results that you're going for. Hence, as Earl Nightingale stated in The Strangest Secrets, you are not going to find yourself successful. I don't care if they promoted you to the district manager. This is not what you want. This is not something that you're actively working towards to be successful in it. And if you find yourself staying there, you're going to be complacent. And if that isn't charging you to do more in a sense of fulfillment, you're still going to get unhappy. So one of the first things I would say, you got to get your mind. We got to work out these mind muscles. One, only to ensure that you continue to stay optimistic about it, but also to expand yourself. Expand yourself of all the possibilities of things that you can do. Because there's nothing that you can't do. Right? So I hope I answered your question. Get that book. And I would also recommend you to check out the book by Florence Scovel Shinn. It's called The Game of Life and How to Play It. Phenomenal. Phenomenal. I first read that book when I was in college. You may have heard me mention to you this before, but I was so annoyed. I had to take a TV practicum class. It was, in order to graduate, we had to have an internship in our field. I was a TV production major, but I was intern at XM Satellite Radio. It worked out where I was filming at the radio show, so I got that. But that's besides the point. We had to read this book, and I'm like, why are we reading this book? And let me just tell you, it was one of the most phenomenal books that I've read in my life. And I would definitely recommend for you to check it out. Okay? Because you have to get yourself to this. You have to see yourself as winning. You have to already be the winner. You know, a lot, we should be focused on catching up to where we are right now because we're such in the now of being all that we want. And here's the thing too. You know how, like, if you think about it, if you want to be the CEO or you want to be this top business or top model or top actress or speaker, you have to have the mindset that you already are. Because when you have the mindset and you're walking in it, you're performing as such. And if that's what you're performing as, you're going to yield those results. So I'm just coming at different angles of how you can see yourself winning. And that's to do the things that winners do. And one of the things that winners do is they win. And they win by exceeding, by reaching out further. Mr., Mrs., Miss, 22-year-old, it's time for you to go out further. Shout out to H-Town, but what's up? What do you want? Okay? All right, let's go on to the next letter. Subject, how to get back out there. Dear Dawn, so I'm writing to you because I know you talk to a lot of people. I'm 29 and I don't really have friends. I live in Charleston, which is a big city, but I can't really say that I've had strong connections with anyone, but maybe one or two people. The one person who comes to mind immediately is my best friend who I met in high school. We were inseparable, but over time he's gotten married and has a family life. And I'm, well, just kind of alone. Me and my best friend still keep in touch, but in that distant kind of way that adults maintain relationships. We're good when we see each other, but there's not much contact outside of that. This was before the pandemic, and let me tell you, it's been real quiet for me. I've seen my parents all of twice in person. Thankfully, they're okay. So now that things are starting that long trek back to normal, I want to ask you, what would be your advice on how to get back out there and make friends? I'm a little embarrassed about asking, and I want to be clear that I'm good with my bestie, but I do still want to make more connections with people. I like a lot of things that people would call nerdy or sci-fi. Was always too scared to go to conventions or things like that. And now that's not likely to be a thing for a bit, but I'm open to learning and experiencing new things in 2021 and become my best self. Any help you could provide would be greatly appreciated. I say, do you? One, thank you for writing it. It is kind of yucky being in this pandemic, right? Definitely had to do a lot of things virtually, but luckily with things advancing, with everything that's going on with COVID, a lot of people are able to get back out there with taking all the proper safety precautions. But yes, first of all, I want to say, do you? Because it sounds like whether the pandemic was happening or not, you were holding yourself back because you didn't want to, I guess, go into this box about being nerdy. So I don't know if you found yourself in other environments that you didn't feel like you were thriving in because you weren't your true self. Definitely check out Jeremiah. He always talks about Clubhouse and how phenomenal and networking that is. That can lead you to people that are like-minded. So while everybody may not be in person at all the conventions, I'm sure they have like a sci-fi chat or some type of convention chat for that you can check it out. You know what I mean? And it's just about getting back in the room and getting back into the conversation. A lot of organizations and a lot of groups are doing a lot of online activities. You hear me talk about it all the time, how I'm studying at the Groundlings at Improv. And while we haven't been in person doing our art form, we've had a lot of things happening on Zoom where we can still be interactive and we can still see our classmates. So that's something that I would definitely recommend of how you're getting back out there. But understanding that when you're going to be out there, that requires you to be out. Did you catch it? If you're talking about getting out there, that's going to require you to be out. And when I say being out, I mean living life out loud and proud, meaning don't be ashamed because you like sci-fi stuff or you want to go to conventions. You need to let more people know about that. Because why would you want to just hold that to yourself? And then whether you find your next best friend, you're not even connecting on what's truly yours and what you truly like. So don't be embarrassed by that. But yeah, I would say just go ahead and check out some online groups. You know, just like people were doing the online dating, swiping left to right, join a clubhouse. You know, check out like the Thriller. They got all these little programs now. And, you know, just like the Versus Battle, people can get virtually and get your little party on at the little concert online. But yeah, that's what I would recommend. Other than that, that's how you're going to become your best self. Being you. I hope it's not next time. It's just about finding new ways, but let it not be for something that you're saying that a lot of people aren't into what you're into. Because if a lot of people aren't into what you're into, then perhaps you're into the wrong thing. Perhaps it's you not into the right thing. Because remember, you attract what you want to be around. So find your tribe, find your group, and live. That's how you're going to become your best self. You got to live. Live. That's what it means to live on purpose and for a purpose. Get excited about your life and get geeked and nerded out. You know, I'm a nerd inside on the low. I like antiques. I like collecting things. So yeah, that's what I would say. Well, that was pretty light, you know. Well, that's all we have for the advice letters. And let me just say, I want to say thank you. Thank you to each of you that wrote in, whether it's, you know, how to get back out there, whether it's trying to be successful, you know, whatever it is, just find your mode, find your way. Just do you. And I want to encourage you that if you need some advice or something, email me, VitaminD@DawnDaiSpeaks.com. And then also, have you checked out the YouTube page? It's at Dawn Dai Speaks. And a lot of the conversations that I'm having with my special guests, they're up there. Check it out. It's pretty dope. It's one thing to be listening in, but it's another thing to be watching, and you see their reaction, you see my reactions, and if you, Lord knows, if you're seeing me anywhere, you know I am the queen of reaction. You know, in a minute they're gonna start making memes about me because I know just the facials just go off. I'm going off now. But check it out. I think it's going to be great. And I want to thank you so much for continuing to be on this ride of my dreams. And also, praise report. I probably should have mentioned it at the top, but it's coming right on time. Your dreams are manifesting. Understand that they're taking root. And you just got to hold on, okay? Just keep pushing. And you have to keep pressing because the magic is happening and you're staying faithful for it to be uncovered. You have to stay faithful to the dream. I say that to myself because how I'm looking at how vitamin D has grown and me just uncovering shows that I've done 6 and 7 years ago, it's happening. And I just want to remind you that it's happening. And because you decided to have a vision, just don't give up because it's happening. I just had to let you know that it's happening, okay? And if you want to keep up what's happening with me, I want to make sure that you follow me on all social media at Dawn Dai Speaks, okay? That's where I am. Every day, all day, it's Dawn Dai. Hey, getting you excited about your life. Thank you. Is there anything else that I missed? No, I guess I'll just see you next time, all right? I got more praise reports to come. And until that next time, I want you to always remember that you are your greatest asset.